everyone. Welcome to this hangout. Just going to check something here, make sure that, yeah, I'm just going to change the microphone. 2 seconds here. I need to check it out. For some reason, my headset isn't working. Is it? Nope. Just 1 second, guys. Santa needs to work out a little detail. For some reason, the headset kind of got out. Let's try it out again. Well, that's weird. My headset is not working. So, hey, welcome from Santa's little place. I'm just gonna switch to
port. See if everything's okay. Here it goes. Yeah. Just need to troubleshoot a little sound problem. You're welcome, everyone. Nice to have you on board. And really cool to have everyone here. Okay, headset is there. Let's just check it out. Change it. It doesn't show up in the panel here. Okay, here goes. So headset, here goes. And there we go. Now, back on the headset. Hey, everyone. Welcome to this shortwave hangout. This is every 2 weeks on Saturdays. And this is the good 26th of December, day after Christmas. And Santa is replacing Gilles. So welcome, everyone. We are here every 2 weeks. And I'm sorry if I'm having a little problems. The headset seems to be a little hard to hold on with this suit. So we're here every 2 weeks from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 to whatever Eastern time, North America, 4 p.m. or 2100 hours UTC, no time limit. Today there's a time limit because I am going to a Christmas feast a little later on. And so I'll be, of course, going to the restaurant with some friends. We'll have fondue and we'll have a lot of fun. So welcome everyone to the hangout. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I sure have. We had, I had friends, family over. Today's beer is Sleeman Original Draft because that's the leftover beer from Christmas. So it's what we're having today, the leftover beer of Christmas. I want to welcome everyone to this Shortwave Radio Hangout. Today, no official, subject. Last time we were supposed to talk about SDRs or software-defined radios. We didn't finally, but the next Hangout, we will have a discussion on software-defined radios. It's going to be the subject, the theme of next hangout, that's for sure. Today, nothing special. If you have questions, if you have something you want to know, and also I have a few questions, about 2015 radio-wise and shortwave-wise. So welcome to, let's just check it out here, Chris D. from Poland. Welcome to the hangout. He's says hello from the questions and answer in the hangout. We have in the chat room, for those that don't know, we have a nice chat room. Calvin, welcome to the hangout. Ranger 7, Milcom 1970 from Prescott, Arizona. A440, hello. We have, so Ranger 7, Peace Steckler, welcome to the hangout. DX the Cat is not here, unfortunately, but I have a great picture of DX with that is on Santa's lap on Christmas Eve while we're actually giving away the gifts. Mbot, hello. Nice to have you on board. Hello, Jordan. Nice to have you on board. Richard Cook, Rick 555, PLF, welcome. Sunburn 90, welcome to the hangout. Driver Films, What do we have? What do we have? Did I miss anyone? I hope not. If I did, please. I'm sorry. And thanks, Driver Films, for posting the chat room in the questions and answer. So you can also send email to official shortwave radio at gmail.com if you want to. And 5XTC Scott, welcome to the Hangout. Nice to have you on board. I've seen him via Twitter. Also, what else do we have? Jeff Dayton, welcome to the Hangout. And so we'll be checking out the details of the Hangouts. Who's on? I'm just going to do a little something because I noticed the other day there are some stuff that I don't see. So some of you that I've seen have not been mentioned in my Hangouts because for some reason I don't receive notifications anymore of the people that are on the YouTube channel leaving comments, and I don't know why. So I'll stay on the YouTube channel to check it out if anybody's there. So here goes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hangout. So nothing special today. Very unusual Christmas. And weather-wise, it was plus 18 degrees Celsius here in Montreal, 17 or 18 at some point early Christmas Eve, which was kind of weird. I actually joked to everybody in my family and friends, and I told them, well, instead of the traditional turkey and traditional, Christmas food, we'll have barbecue, and we'll have a barbecue, and just bring yourself, your bathing suit, because we're gonna go to swimming afterwards. It was almost possible. But things are going to change as we're getting colder. Tonight and tomorrow, 10 centimeters of snow for Montreal, which is about 4 inches. And the biggest is Tuesday. Tuesday, we are supposed to have a snowstorm and have a foot of snow, about 30 centimeters. So it's going to be back to normal, and temperature is going to drop like minus 15, minus 17, minus 18. Typical Montreal weather for this time of year. So, hey, Bart in Pennsylvania, welcome to the Hangout. Hey, Calvin got a Texan PL680. This is going to be a great radio. You're going to love it. PL680 is a great radio. Hello to everyone that's guests, because you can change your name, by the way, if you're a guest. Hello, DPM from Syracuse. Nice to have you on board. PLF says, Gilles, a bit warmer in Canada than in France, apparently. Yeah, which is unusual, as it should be colder. But now we're going to really, really get to the cold temperatures. Hey, Scotty TR6 from Toronto. Greetings from sunny Toronto. It's always sunny in Toronto every time I do Hangouts. This is funny. It seems I'm bringing the sun to you in Toronto because it's always sunny. That's funny. So we're having a little less people than usual on the spectators, but we'll see. I don't expect maybe to have as many spectators, but it's, we don't know. Calvin says, awesome radio show, love it. Even better than the Sony 76 JR, 7600 JR. The case is lovely. Love the outfit. Yeah, the only thing that I think Santa needs is kind of a better beard, because this one is like been used too much, and it's kind of weird, a little funky. And Santa's little helper, welcome from Marseille. Nice to have you on board as usual. So I got a question, first of all, for you guys. So we'll talk a little bit about 2015 in radio. Is there something in radio, and I mean anything, it could be for you personally, maybe a new radio you got this year, or some event that you followed radio-wise on shortwave, or any other little detail that for you this year was important in the radio aspect of your hobby. So why not share it? We'll see what it is. You know what? I've been thinking this year, radio-wise, I can't say there was a lot of stuff. You know, last year we were still on the high of Global 24 radio. There was like something cool about, you know, there's a new station and it promises to be really incredible. This year is kind of quiet. Of course, Global 24 disappeared this year, which is an event in itself. The difference, though, is that I thought that Global 24 radio would still be alive today, a year afterwards, but in big trouble, some kind of financial difficulty, basically. But no, they kind of disappeared real fast. You know, right after Christmas, it was like they were gone. And everything's, you know, really bad. But you know what? I would say the biggest news for me this year is more personal. You know, getting my Texan PL680 is like, that was an amazing thing. And this is the, by the way, the little PL680 that I always keep really, really, really. This is really, really an amazing radio. Anyone that's looking for a new radio or a radio, or wants to, you know, tell someone what great radio they should buy, the PL680 by Texan is, in my advice, the radio to get. Don't look at anything else. You need this one, and that's it. And this does the great job of listening to shortwave. That's for sure. One of the nice things, by the way, that I got this Christmas, and I'm going to show you guys this, thanks to my nephew, because I've been telling my nephew that I wanted something that he had. They had it in their living room, and I thought it was going to be fantastic for my radio room, is this nice pirate flag. So this is going to hang on the wall right behind my radio, and I think it's a great, great pirate flag. So we could say that this is a radio-related gift that I got at Christmas. So it's just great. It's really nice. So I'm going to hang it on the wall just behind the radios here on the top. It's going to be a great, great little pirate radio type flag that I'll be happy to have, by the way. So it's going to be really cool. So yeah, it is nice. Actually, I love it, man. So really, really cool. So if anybody has any news, anything that in, you know, this year kind of you were happy, so why not share it with us? So now everybody's convinced in the chat room that I will be hosting a pirate radio show or some sort. Who knows? I got the flag now, so I'm not far away. Only need the transmitter and the secret spot to transmit from. Hello, Harry. Welcome to the hangout. Hello, Hi Mapper from Moscow. Nice to have you on board. Really nice. Yeah, there is. Well, I'm not sure it's all Europe. As Scotty Tier 6 says, the medium wave broadcasting in Europe, there are countries that's actually ending there are countries in Europe that are ending of medium wave slowly, and I believe slowly it is going to be a problem. So Santa's going to try to drink without actually eating the beard. So another thing also, just to show you guys, one of the things I got on Christmas Eve, which was kind of nice. Got it on Christmas Eve. Voice of Vietnam that sent me a nice little card, and it says Happy New Year. So this is cool. Nice little Happy New Year card from Vietnam. So that's a nice little gift. I got it on Christmas Eve, so it was cool. And so nice little things. But you know what? Apart from that, on my side of the radio, I don't see 2015 as a big year for radio in general. We haven't really, had a lot of stuff. What did we lose? What stations did we lose this year? We lost. Serbia? I think it was Radio Serbia that left somewhere in June. What other station did we lose this year? Trying to think about it. We actually gained some stuff this year because with WRMI transmitting Radio Prague, Radio Slovakia, Radio France English, Radio Ukraine, I think we actually gained stations more than we lost this year for a change, basically. Yeah, is kind of funny, as Peace Tackler is saying. It's like, even though medium wave and shortwave broadcasts are declining slowly, we still have, probably more choices of radio than ever. David in Barcelona, welcome to the Hangout. Zittercloud, welcome. Shortwave guest, welcome. And nice to have everybody on board. Let's check the chat room here if anybody has anything. Driver Film says, just remembered I got a book about Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty. That must be interesting read. That must be some really interesting read, by the way. I'd like to see that, how they decided to do that station and everything. That's probably a good read. Please, Tackler, I should start drinking rum instead of beer. I don't like rum, but I would drink vodka. Actually, I could have done that because I still have leftover vodka from Christmas, and I could have made myself like orange juice and vodka or something like that, or cranberry and vodka. I like that. Hey, Ambot, nice to have you on board. I'm not sure I did say hello on the Hangout. Michelle says, if you do a pirate, you have to put on a funny voice so they don't know it's you. Well, don't worry. If I do a pirate, it's not going to be my big voice like you have now. It's kind of easy to know that it's me. It's like I can figure out that everybody listening to my Hangouts hear me with this voice on a pirate station and say, hey, it's Jill. Kind of gives it away. Driver Films, Cold War Radio, the dangerous history of American broadcasting in Europe, 1950 to 1989. Oh, that's interesting too. Books on the radio are interesting. I like the stuff. I've actually downloaded a collection of CQ magazine, CQ Amateur Radio magazine, that go from something like 1940 to 1980. And I am loving every moment of just going through these old magazines from the 40s and the 50s. Also read articles about things that are brand new, like one from, I think it was 1940, that has, hey, welcome to the new 6-meter band. It's now officially open for amateur use. And you're like, wow, okay, that was brand new in 1940. And there's things like that I really enjoy. So, but it's really cool. You have all of this cool stuff that you read, and you see all the ads. I mean, viewing the ads is almost as fun as reading the magazine, because you have all of these old ads of tube transceivers and radios and radio courses. And one that I always remember, it's a guy, it says, why not join our free radio courses, how to fix radios? And it says it's free, but you'll work in my shop to repair radios to give experience. So by the way, basically what the guy did is simply, you'll learn how to fix radios, but instead of paying for the course, you'll just work in my shop. It's going to pay for the course. thinking about it, it's a little cheap, but you know, it's kind of interesting. I just love it. What else do we have here? Peace Declar says is Wall Radio TV handbook should arrive this coming week. I'm still waiting for a email from Amazon to say, hey, it's going to be there. But I don't have the impression I'm going to have much of that. That's for sure. PLF says apparently medium wave and long wave of some France transmitters, public French radio. Yeah, you know what? Slowly medium wave is dying on some of those radio stations because they use a tremendous amount of power. A lot of Europeans, especially, you know, like from France, the public radio from France and all, some of them have like, you know, 1 megawatt of power, or, you know, 500, 600, 700 kilowatts. And that's just so much power that it costs a fortune to run, basically. And, you know, with the increasing number of receivers that actually don't have FM on them, it's a problem. I think it's a problem with medium wave. That's for sure. That's for sure. That would be something, though. If the medium wave band in Europe would be dead, you guys would probably, I guess, hear a lot of North Americans going through, basically. Henry says, Christmas always makes me think of the Simpsons dog. True. I think it was in Christmas. Yeah, it's that Christmas episode where everything is going bad and they get Santa's little helper. Yeah, that's true. Sorry about the noise that I'm making while I'm moving the mic, because I'm going crazy with my headset right now. So welcome to everyone. Well, you know, a lot of spectators. It's coming up. It's coming up. David, hi, Jill. Enjoying the hang as always. Seems you're about to set up a pirate shortwave listening station. Yep. For sure. I'll have everything. You know, when they come over, it's just like, okay, everything's there. You know, I'm the guy. Man in the man. Welcome to the hangout. Lloyd's 1970 multiband radio looks almost like new, right out of the factory. Just had a dial cord slip, which was easy fixed. Interesting inner case made of wood. $15 at a Goodwill resale store. Nice. I love these old radios. As Scotty says, the ads are amazing in the old mags. Yes, they are. It's just so cool. And seeing all this old rig. And, you know, some of the stuff in these old magazines, you look at the radio and you just start thinking, okay, that cost $100 in 1951. And you're thinking, well, that's like $1,000 or $2,000 in 2015. It was tremendously expensive for a lot of stuff. That's for sure. So, yeah, and by the way, thanks for bringing it up, because we're going to talk about it. PLF says, Jill, last time you told me about your VHF, UHF channel, very interesting and instructive. Will you publish other videos on the channel? Yep, it's coming up. And by the way, big announcement starting Friday, January 15th at 2100 hours UTC. And we will have our VHF, UHF radio hangout every 2 weeks, which means that this one will really be dedicated to long wave, medium wave, shortwave. But we will have a hangout now that will talk about scanner radios, that will talk about VHF, UHF range, what you can listen to, what's in the different frequency ranges. I hope also that we can maybe share together part of the listening. So if somebody needs frequencies for a specific region, maybe somebody could help and say, oh, here are the frequencies, and we can share that information at the same time. So that, you know, I think is going to be interesting. And we'll talk about VHF, UHF. So that's a new show for radio. And so every 2 weeks, what's going to happen is every Friday there's going to be a show now. 1 week is going to be the live tuning the bands, and the other week will be the VHF, UHF, and it's going to alternate one and the other. So every Friday evenings at 2100 we'll have a show. Like I said, I think that's going to be fun. We'll see how things goes. And one of the things that probably I'll need is a little more experts on this subject, as I am not as knowledgeable on VHF, UHF stuff and on scanner radios that I am in shortwave. So some of you will surely help me, get information about what's happening. That's for sure. David says, I've heard nothing about any closure of the Spanish medium wave station. In fact, a local music station that's relatively new, IT FM, is transmitting in the FM band in most of Spain, but here in Barcelona, they are on 828 kilohertz on medium wave, as there seems to be no space on FM. Would be weird to see that station go and leave Barcelona without coverage. We'll see how it goes. You know what? Here in Montreal, it's pretty much what's happening. Station pop up all the time on the AM band now, on the medium wave band, for the simple reason that there's no more space on the FM band in Montreal. You just can't put any stations anymore. So for sure. Yeah, I did see something. I didn't know. I didn't read the article. As Jordan mentions, Greenland was heard in Ireland. Nice. Means I should be able to get it. I did see a little something about Greenland being heard, but I didn't read the article for sure. What frequency? Do you know what frequency, Jordan, for Greenland? Calvin, can I ask you about the antenna in the background, Jill, for 2 meters, 70 centimeters? I have one, but I don't know what the way to use it. Oh, okay. Do you mean that the one on the receiver here? So just take that out without breaking anything. Okay, if you're talking about this for your portable receiver, basically, very simple. Think of an antenna as being resonant. So the lower you are in frequency, the longer you want this antenna. Now, it has a coil in the middle because it needs to complete its resonance for the bands. Typically, if I listen to, say, 30 to 50 megahertz, or even the low VHF range, I'll extend it full extend. But as I go up, I'll slowly collapse one section at a time slowly. Because when you're at, say, 900 megahertz, well, this antenna will work better about, half the length. And as I go up and up and up, I just collapse it. The best way to experience this is find yourself some signals on, try to find yourself a signal you can hear on the 30 to 50 megahertz range, and have it full extend, listen to it. Try to listen to maybe 2-meter amateur radio stations. When you hear a repeater, play with the length. See what length, and try to remember approximately what length you left the antenna for it to work best. I think it's something that you'll be accustomed to at some point. Basically, when I listen to, say, 70 centimeters, well, of course, I'll start, pulling down some sections to have it a little shorter, because it's going to resonate more than full length on 450 megahertz, and so on. So try to find yourself some frequencies that have their signals, and play with the sections, and look at the here on the icon. I'll look, at the signal strength meter that's on the bottom here, and check out what is, the best. So, for example, now there's a baby monitor I'm hearing, and you see it's full scale when I put it full length. But if I put it, less than full, you see that now it's pretty much gone. So you gotta just understand, the lower the frequency, the longer the antenna. It's always reverse. Think of the higher you go in frequency, the shorter you'll want to put this antenna to have it resonate as much as possible to the frequency you're listening to. So that's pretty much the deal with it. I hope that's the antenna you were talking about. So that's for sure. So Ranger says, yeah, VHF, UHF hangouts. Yep, that's going to be fun. And it's going to be different, talking about different subjects, different things. One of my areas where I listen a lot, and I think a lot of you will have a lot of fun listening to amateur radio satellites, is so cool. Listening to the International Space Station. That's also part of the VHF, UHF experience. And I know some of you will be thinking, oh, well, yeah, but I don't have, big antennas. And don't worry, you don't need that big an antenna to listen to signals from space. I can tell you that. So that's for sure. 650. Okay, Jordan, thank you for the frequency. 650 kilohertz seems to be the Greenland medium wave station. It's pretty cool. That's cool. Okay, that's the one. Yeah. So just play with the length, Calvin, and that's how it's gonna work. Yeah, there's no instructions with most. You know what? If you have sections, just remember that you can, lower sections to have it resonate at specific frequency ranges. I'm gonna try a little something, guys, because I'm going crazy here with my headset. Just gonna try to pull it here. There it goes. Hope that holds a little better. Okay. PLF says shared a link for a closing of France stations. No problem, Calvin. And yeah, just play with it. You'll notice, you can maybe do some tests also with your Baofeng. If you can, maybe just put it on real low power and play with the extending the sections and see if that works better or not. But it's typically, using it and playing with the sections and see what's happening. That's going to help you with that. So Romania 6170, is it still on? I don't know if it's still on. This one's there. Yep, Romania in English on 6170 for those that want to listen to Romania, as Richard Cook shared with us. Harry says, I have my own pirate radio station, which is just a buzzer on 4625. Wow. You're being heard everywhere, Harry. What else do we have here? Jordan says, I had the ISS twice, very briefly speaking on 145.800. That was fun. Oh yeah, that's amazing when they talk. It's really cool. I heard the ISS have a voice contact on 145.800 about maybe a year ago, and he had contacts with some amateur radio stations here in Montreal. It was really nice. There's also a packet on 145.800. But you know what? Let's keep all of that for the VHF, UHF hangout, as we'll have stuff to talk about. That's for sure. So that's for sure. So Milcom 1970 says VHF, UHF, and scanners. All right, Jill, sounds great. Cool. I think everybody's going to have a lot of fun with that. So that's going to be January 15th. Is going to be the first one. So I hope everybody going to find it real cool. Anybody else here just saying, hey, Ray, and the questions and answer, Ray Kelly, welcome to the Hangout. Nice to have you on board. We're reaching pretty much the level of spectators that I have in a regular Hangout, which means that pretty much everybody that listens normally is actually on right now. So, which is quite cool, meaning that we're getting pretty much everybody. That's for sure. Ranger 7's, Ubets that Jill will rip off the beard before the hangout is done. Man, and not only is it, going crazy with the headset, but it's also all itchy, and it's like, what the hell? I have the impression that uh, it's possible that I'll lose the beard at some point. Who knows? So the hangout today is going to be a little shorter, like I said, because I have some. I'll be eating some food later on with some friends at the restaurant. We'll have some fondue, and we're going at a karaoke bar where I'll be singing tonight and having lots of fun. So that's for sure. And so January 15th is going to be the first VHF UHF. I'll be having 4 shows starting in January. Basically, what's going to happen is I'll have. Calvin says, "Take it off, you'll be a rebel." Yeah, and I imagine that little, that guy or girl that just stumbled upon my hangout and says, "Oh, look," and takes like 5-year-old kid and says, "Hey, look, it's Santa," and Santa takes off his beard, and it's like I traumatized the kid for the rest of his life because Santa removed his beard in front of the camera. Yeah, I do. And you know what? I have a funny little fact with this. It's the first time that I put on the Santa suit, and I don't need any extra fluff to make it look big enough like Santa. So it gives you an idea that I should probably be losing a little weight now. That's for sure. Maybe find a way to do shortwave radio and jogging, something like that. PLF says fondue like cheese with potatoes, the same we eat in France. I could, yeah, there is cheese fondue, yep. But the one I have here is going to be more fondue like bourguignon or stuff like that. It's more like or Chinese fondue with a kind of a brown mix that's with chicken and beef and stuff like that. That's more the kind that I'll be eating tonight. But they also have the cheese one, like you guys have in France, with a mix of like Swiss cheese, Emmental cheese, cheddar cheese, and so on. So that's for sure. One of the things, like I was saying, that was going to happen in 2016, I'll be having 4 shows. I'll be having 2 computer-related shows. Presently, I have my questions and answer type show on Tuesdays, every Tuesdays at 3 p.m., 2800 hours UTC, where I answer questions, computer-related questions. I'll have a 1-hour show that's going to be added in January about computers again, or technology, but it's going to be like a 1-hour subject. So, for example, if we talk about, I don't know, Mac computers, then we'll have a 1-hour show. We'll talk about Mac computers. And the next time is, I don't know, Android phones. And we'll talk about Android phones for, maybe it's going to be something in Windows, how to fix common problems in Windows. Going to have a 1-hour show and so on. So that's going to be interesting. People are going to send me probably suggestions of what they want to have in the show. So I'll be going with a 1-hour show with that also. So that plus computer, plus listening to the bands, plus VHF, UHF, plus every 2 weeks the Saturday hangout equals 4 shows a week now, live, which I didn't think I would be reaching that point already. So that's for sure. So yeah, well, I'll not through the shortwave one though, because I don't want to mix things, and I'm sure some of you out there don't want necessarily to listen to my computer shows, but just want the radio side. So I'll be posting eventually a email for the computer shows where you can get notification. So if anyone wants to listen to the computer show, then I'll be, of course, sending you email to let you know for sure. KMOX 1120, welcome to the Hangout. And well, you know what, Peace Deckler, I'm actually getting myself a Raspberry Pi. So there's definitely something there. I'm actually thinking when I get the Raspberry Pi to start a Raspberry Pi channel. So hey Valtz, welcome to the Hangout. Yeah, well, it's to search for it. It's, well, I can just youtube.com/official VHF UHF, but think as channel, but no L at the end, because something went wrong when I recommended, or I put the name of the URL, and I can't change it anymore. So official VHF UHF CHANNE, no, not channel. So I think somebody posted something about it. Is it there? Yeah, it is there. Actually, it's funny, it doesn't have its own URL. It should have its own URL, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's going to come to a normal use. Basically, I'm going to start posting videos again, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff on that radio side. You know, I think a lot of people are interested in that. That's for sure. So yep, that's true. Also, I'll be doing that, linking the VHF UHF to the shortwave channel. Great suggestions, that's for sure. No, it's just an error, Ranger 7. For some reason, when I pressed enter and I looked and I said, look, I went back and I was like, okay, L is missing. But once on YouTube, once you get your private URL for a channel, you can never change it again. So I would have to either dump it and try to do a new one, or just keep that one. And I'm thinking, well, I already have, you know, subscribers, and I do have a little bit of views, so I'm just gonna keep it like that. Doesn't matter that much, basically, as long as everybody knows how to go there. So that's for sure. Man in the Man says, has anyone been noticing the number station in Spanish that has been running up and down the band between 11 12 megahertz? Seems it is there every day now. It has what sounds like computer burst. Yep, HM01 from Cuba. That's the number station you are hearing. So yeah, like PLF says, channel in French is a chaîne. So yep. So yeah, well, actually, it's worse than that, Driver Films. To change it to an official name, you need 500 subs. But once you've changed the name once, you can never change it again. It's some kind of YouTube stuff. You have to be careful when you choose the name when it's official, because you can never change it again. You can change the name in the top of your channel, say it's the official VHF UHF channel, but the URL, the address in the address bar, that will never change. It's like that now. So oh yeah, for sure. I'm not. It's, you know, I don't have a lot of videos there, and it is not like it's not like there's nobody there. People, I think, are interested to that. It's just that I kind of abandoned the channel a little bit. I really need to do it again, basically. Start posting videos. And actually, I wanted to post a few, and I didn't have time, but I wanted to post a few before the year ends. I'm going to try to post a few this week. You know, a few things about what's happening. By the way, the Montreal police here has been for the last 2 weeks now on P25 encryption mode. So no more police to listen to in Montreal. And that happened just now, about 2 weeks ago. So Montreal cops are now nowhere to be seen on the bands anymore, unfortunately. Let's check the email here. Do we have somebody that has said hello through email? And we have Dan McDermott from Syracuse, I get Nashville, Tennessee, on 650 medium wave. getting St. Louis, Missouri, late night. Thoughts on 1120 KMOX. Nice. That's nice. It's, sometimes, especially in the wintertime now, DXing the medium wave band is pretty cool. So nice to have this. Arthur Smith, welcome to the Hangout from the email in Worcester, Massachusetts, and showing me is very nice. SX42 restoration is coming along nicely. Alignment is next. Cheers, Arthur. Nice, really nice to have. These are just so beautiful. You lucky. I love these old radios since the picture is very nice. Thanks for letting me, showing me that. And welcome to the Hangout, by the way. What else do we have? Only 10 seconds delay here today. Very good. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, the clock there for everybody who wants to know when it's live or not. So what else do we have here? Sunbird. What kind of beer am I drinking tonight? Well, this is the leftover beer from Christmas. It's the Sleeman Original Draft. And we had 24, 48, about 50 or 60 of those between me, my brother, and my nephew or something like that. And actually, we had 48 at the beginning of the evening. And then at 10 p.m., I looked at the fridge and I said, well, there's only 8 beers left. It's 10 p.m. So we went out and got 24 more. I didn't think we would need a lot because I had vodka and I was thinking of drinking more vodka and stuff like that than beer. But finally, we drank a lot of beer. That's for sure. But there were 3 left today. So I decided to take that instead of going out and buy a beer for the Hangout. What else do we have here? Yeah, well, an APCO 25 scanner will pick up transmissions, yes. But there's APCO 25 encrypted transmissions also. So that you won't hear. But yes, if you have an APCO 25 scanner and that the voice or the transmissions are analog on it, yes, you can. But now the police is in encryption mode with APCO 25. So it means that you can't hear it. Scotty Tier 6. Yeah, well, you know what? Calvin says it might end up cracked on an app. Maybe not, because I know that it's a special encryption that is specific to a company. And as Scotty TR6 was mentioning in the last Hangout, I believe, if a transmission is not directed to you, it's illegal to unencrypt it. So if, for example, the cops mean that it's not for me, using a software or anything to unencrypt their transmissions means it's illegal. Scotty TR6 says, Toronto police went encrypted a few months ago. Only ambulance and fire now listenable on the trunk system here. Yeah, same here. Ambulance, firemen, and ambulance are only trunked. So all you have to do is program the trunked frequencies in a trunk scanner, and you got it. That's for sure. So that's for sure. Vault says, I've seen some software that for SDR Sharp that seem to claim it works as police scanner when you trunker, but I'm guessing that won't help you versus encryption. Yeah, Vault, there are some add-ons to SDR Sharp that turns it basically into a scanner. So if you use a small, for example, RTL, SDR dongle, yeah, you turn your computer basically into a radio scanner, but that's the thing, it doesn't decrypt anything. P. Steckler, anyone tried DRM, Digital Radio Mondial? Yeah, I've been able to listen to Voice of Nigeria because of low bit rate, which is the first time I've heard DRM. Jordan also decoded, I think it was Radio Romania. But DRM is like, I think, going away slowly. So, Sunbird, am I feeling a little rough today? No, not bad actually. Didn't go overboard. So even yesterday I was tired because the party ended at 5 a.m. But I was not hangover. I was just tired. I think that's the good way to do it. Not to drink too much. It's not fun being hungover. Yeah, that's it, Vaults. It does the code AppCode 25, which is something that some portable scanners also are able to do, but not the encrypted type. Only the regular that has analog voice on it. That's pretty much it. Simon in UK, welcome to the Hangout. Police in the UK went digital in early 2000s. Was good though before to listen to Helicopter. I was not a big fan of listening to the cops on the scanners, but one thing that was nice about the cops on scanners is when something comes up, when there's a big event and there's something happening, it's kind of cool to listen to the cops and see, have that side of conversations to see what could be happening. That mostly was the interesting stuff there. Jordan says, I still listen to the police helicopters here. Ranger 7, I loaded the SDR Sharp Frequency Manager scanner. It did not load properly. Not sure what happened, but it errors out, so the scanner part can't work. Huh. That's okay, Sunbird. I have no problem with that, asking if I feel a little rough. It's not very complex. Ray says, Halifax police and local RCMP went encrypted almost a year ago. Here, the RCMP in Montreal has been encrypted since the 80s. You could actually never listen to RCMP in Montreal ever, not even in the 80s. They were the first ones to be encrypted. So they go a long way for encryption, that's for sure. And Ray says, Sleeman's is a good beer. Yep. Sleeman is a good beer. Actually, that's pretty much what I buy. If I buy regular beer, I'll buy Sleeman. Either the original draft, or sometimes I'll buy the Sleeman Silver Creek, which also is a good, tasty beer. Just okay. I love that. So, what else do we have here? Dryer Films. I listened to the police before they went digital. They had a report that somebody kept on tipping over an old man's Robin Reliant. You know what? I remember, I understand why they could go encrypted for some reason. And one of the reasons is, if I were to commit a crime and the cops are not encrypted, I would think it's a good idea to bring along a scanner, because you'll know when the cops are alerted and you'll know pretty much where they're going. And often I've heard in the bands, the cops talking to each other, and then one cop saying, hey guys, I think this guy listens to us just by the way he's moving or acting. So I understand why they would do that. That's for sure. I would say that, they encrypt. I was having a discussion with a friend about that, encryption on the police channels. And my friend said, well, I don't understand why it wasn't encrypted already. And, I'm kind of not sure encryption is really that useful. First of all, most of the information they were sending out it was on the computers in the cars. So we didn't hear that much, and we never heard really, like physical address of where it's happening, because they would get the details in the computers in the car. We just know, there's, what type of crime happening in what part of town, but not any physical address, basically. So, you know, I'm not sure it's that necessarily that something that's really meant. Maybe they could encrypt some stuff, but one of the police corps here that is really bad that's not encrypted, and you're gonna see this. Here in Quebec, we have our local provincial police, which is the Sûreté du Québec, SQ. A funny thing, they had encryption added in the 90s. But because the territory of Quebec is just so vast, and especially on the north shore of the island of Montreal, there's a lot of mountains. The communications were so unreliable that basically the only way they could listen and talk was by removing the encryption. So about 70% of the time, you can listen to the provincial police here without encryption. And that is worse because when they stop someone, when they arrest someone, or they just, stop someone on the highway with a car, you actually hear, the lady replying back with, oh, the name, the postal address, the license plate number, the car, the age, if it's been arrested or not in the past. Now, that is a lot of information that they're just giving out onto the open, and that I think should be encrypted for sure. Because it means if they arrest you, you'll hear everything. Somebody can hear his neighbor maybe got arrested and, have all the details. So that's maybe, I'm not sure, And that's for sure kind of not, not interesting. I don't, that should be encrypted all the time. And the funny thing is that they are the ones that are not encrypted, which is kind of weird, That's for sure. So, what else do we have here? Oh, you just heard it behind me. Yeah, it's not very strong, but it's there just barely. So that the interval signal of Romania, and that's interesting. These are very sensitive. Dale, welcome to the Hangout. Encryption is killing scanner listening, paying 500 plus for a scanner, and the confusing programming. It's almost a rich man's hobby. Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, scanners are complex to use, and it seems they're getting, with trunking, they're getting even more complicated. I've got the Radio Shack Pro 92 right there, which is a trunk scanner. And I can tell you one thing. Understanding how to program that thing was amazingly difficult. And you know what? The manual was so horrible that it was even more difficult because you couldn't even understand it because the manual was wrong. And it's when I was reading on the internet, somebody that decided to actually post his own manual of how to program for, LTE and stuff like that. Then I understood how it worked because the manual was just so bad. That's for sure. That's for sure. Hey, Edwin Toma. Welcome to the Hangout. Sleeman is in Ontario, I believe. I think it's brewed in Ontario, Canada. And they are the ones that bought, by the way, that bought Unibrew, that makes Fin du Monde and all the beers that I usually like. They were bought by Sleeman. Edwin says, my Texan PS 880 is up for grabs. Oh, really? If anybody is interested, he's got a PL 880 up for grabs, apparently. And he says, hello and happy holidays, including January 3rd, 2016. My 74th. Wow. Well, that I hope you're going to have a good and nice birthday, my friend. Time goes just by so fast. Just incredible. Let's check the email to see if anybody else is on the email. Okay. It seems that my won't be very long. Recover web page. So what do we have here? We have any other people? I'm just checking out who's here. Any other thing? Okay, on the email. Sorry, guys, a little delay here. And what else do we have? Arthur. And Arthur Smith says, my son Brady says hi. He's getting a kick out of Santa drinking beer. Hope to get him tuning the SX42 once restoration is done. Hey, Brady, welcome to the Hangout. And, you know, Santa is just like everybody else. Drinks beer and wants to have fun. You know, today Santa is finished sending all the gifts, so he wants to relax. That's why he's having a beer and just, you know, taking it easy, and that's it. Before I go back to the North Pole. And by the way, this week's gonna look like the North Pole, so that's for sure. That's for sure. So you are listening or watching the Shortwave Radio Hangout, and we are here every 2 weeks. And yes, Edge just crashed on me. Microsoft Edge just crashed on me. So basically, we are here every 2 weeks on Saturdays talking about radio. And of course, we'll have talk about anything radio. And if you have a question, you can send it to officialshortwaveradio@gmail.com. You can also go to the chat room, and that's pretty much, you know, you could ask any type of question. We have a great gang in the chat room also at swling.com/blog/chat-room. We have a nice chat room there where a lot of people talk about radio 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. If you want to have advanced notifications when I do Hangouts, basically what's going to happen is you can send me a little email saying, hi, I want to be on a notifications list. You just send that to officialshortwaveradio@gmail.com. So officialshortwaveradio@gmail.com. Just say hi, and I'll add you to the list. So every time I do Hangouts, basically I tell you, when I do Hangouts, what I do is in the morning, I send the first email to everyone saying, hey, today's going to be a Hangout at, you know, whatever time, 2100 hours UTC most of the time. And the other thing that I do about an hour before the Hangout starts, I send a video feed, a link, so that you can actually, you're just gonna, you know, have the link where you can click. You have the link for the chat room, so you can join. So just send me a little hello at officialshortwaveradio@gmail.com, and I'll make sure that you know, we get to you get the information about what's happening with the Hangout. That's for sure. Yeah, Santa can pull down his mustache and put it back. It's you know, something very unique about Santa. You can also pull it up if you want, you know, and try to drink by the other way, which would be simpler, basically. That's another way to do it. What else is there here? Yeah, Ranger 7 says Santa's going to lose his beard. Ranger 7 says encryption is probably costly for the police departments, and if terrain is a factor, then they have to put up extra repeaters, so the cost goes up and up and up. Yep, basically that's what's happening. That's for sure. Yeah, Scotty TR6 using a scanner while you are actually, you know, during a felony is, yes, something that is actually just puts you more into the trouble, because not only did you do a felony, but you also, infringed on the law that says that you should not use um, information from the police, basically. But, that's a complex issue. Technically, the towing trucks that know where all the accidents happen, thanks to the cops, well, they are infringing on the law, because you're not allowed to use that information for financial gain, which means that the towing trucks were actually going against the law here. And thinking about that, I never thought, but you know what? Since the police is now encrypted for the past 2 weeks, what do the towing trucks do? Do they have somebody in the police department that's going to tip them off, or they're just waiting for the calls now? Instead of going, they have to wait for the calls. Huh. And Harry says, "Hey, Santa, what did you do with Jill?" Well, Jill and DX are now having, a little intimate moment on another room watching a movie, apparently. All I can say. Simon UK says, "I had a family meal today. Had too much food, massive minded lamb pie." Yeah, I had a lot of food here. We still have food for probably a week. I just had so much food here. It's just incredible. Simon UK, what did I get for Christmas? Mostly chocolate, and for those that weren't there at the beginning, I'm going to show it again. A very nice little flag that is pretty cool, which is this pirate flag that I'll be hooking up on the wall just behind my radios. This is a very nice little gift from my brother and my nephews. So this is really, really nice for sure. Ray says, "My Kenwood R1000, sorry, should arrive next week. It is currently in Mississauga, according to Canada Post. I will upload some YouTube videos once I have it set up." Oh yeah, you're gonna love that. It's a great receiver. The Kenwood R1000 is a great receiver, that's for sure. Really, really good receiver. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Congrats on that new receiver. It's really, really nice. So yeah, I had a lot of mostly chocolate and stuff like that, which when we don't know what to buy someone, what we do, we buy chocolate. That's pretty much it. So that's for sure. Hey, Chuck Ripple in Virginia, welcome to the hangout. Yeah, Santa Gilles here. That's for sure. Nice to have you on board. And of course, like I said, we'll have a little shorter hangout today because we are going for some food. What do we have here? We have Steven, that is in Tampa Bay, Florida, saying hello. Says, "Nice to have Santa talking about radio." And it's it's also nice to know that Santa knows about radio, because when I asked Santa for a Christmas gift, he actually brought me a nice Texan PL680. So it seems that Santa knows what he's doing. Yes, of course, Santa knows everything, because basically that's why they bring you technology. Santa wants to bring you technology. He's asked to know everything about, smartphones, computers, tablets, game consoles, shortwave radios. Santa is a very, very knowledgeable man, basically. So, maybe the elves are really helping here, but surprising. So, Richard Cook saying the buzzer is very weak on 4625 buzzer, which is a Russian type communication stuff. Dale, how long do rechargeables last in portable receivers versus alkaline? Rechargeables seem to not last very long compared to alkalines. Well, that's the thing. Rechargeables do not last as long as alkaline because they don't have the same rating. Alkaline batteries are made to last longer. The thing is that rechargeables are rechargeable. So even though they don't last as many hours in a radio, you just recharge them. And that's why, when I actually go out on the expeditions, or if I know I'm going somewhere with my radio, and I'm going crazy here, basically what happens is I bring along at least a pack of alkaline, but also bring along more than one set of rechargeables. Typically, alkalines, have something like I think the rating of alkaline AA's is like 5,000 or 6,000 milliamp hours. That's like double or triple the milliamp hours of a rechargeable battery. But they are rechargeable. The other thing you have to make sure is that rechargeable are also need to be really well charged, because a lot of chargers don't charge them very well. So they sometimes aren't, charged well enough. But usually, typical, if I look here, do I have an example? Yeah, here's these are cheap, but these are this one. These are 2,000 milliamp hour rechargeables. In a receiver like my PL680, they last about 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours continuous usage, usually. The problem is make sure that you get the good ones, because you want to have the ones that keep their charge. We have that today, thank God, because before they would lose their charge. What would happen is that you'd end up with a radio that isn't working after 4 or 5 days. So you got to be, careful with that. Rechargeables really don't last as long as alkalines, but they are rechargeable. So instead of always spending money for alkaline batteries, you just recharge them, which is much, much cheaper in the long run, and it's better for the environment also. That's for sure. So that's for sure. What do you have here? Canada's Radio Communication Act makes unauthorized decoding of encrypted communication punishable with fines of up to $75,000 and maximum prison sentence of 1 year. Yep, that's true. Santa is geeky, Ranger 7 says. Haha. Yeah. One of the things about the rechargeable batteries is really buy the good ones. The cheap rechargeable batteries on eBay are not good at all. I can tell you that. I bought some just to try, and that's for sure. Harry says, how come rechargeable are rated at 1.2 volts? That's because the voltage is dependent on the material that you use. So alkaline batteries or regular 1.5 volt AA batteries rely on 2 different metals that have a difference of 1.5 volt. It's just nature does it like that. Same like lithium AA will have a different voltage. So the rechargeables, the 2 metals used, make a difference of 1.2 instead of 1.5, which is close enough. And for most devices, it still works fine. That's for sure. Calvin, are the alkaline better to use in the PL680 than the Texan batteries that came with it? No, use the Texan batteries and make sure that you just, every time you don't use it, that's what I do. I have the Texan batteries in here. Every time I stop using the radio, I plug it in with the adapter, and it charges. Do that all the time, every time. You finish listening, plug it in, charge it. They are nickel metal hydride batteries, they don't have memory effect or anything. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to drop them to zero to have them working right. So like that, your radio is always charged. And I can tell you they're amazing. Even though they're not rated very high, the Texan batteries, I get a full day of radio with these rechargeables, that's for sure. So that's for sure. That's for sure. But, you know, even if you use rechargeables, always have a few packs of alkalines. So if you go somewhere, you can bring a pack of alkalines, and if something went bad, at least you have something that you can use in your radio. So that's for sure. That's for sure. Hey, Florence SSL, ho ho ho, happy Christmas. Nice to have you on board. Peace Techler says the elves the elves, well, that's hard to say. The elves have it easy these days with DSP chip radios, almost no soldering involved. That's for sure. Oh, I know. Santa's beard is completely tangled, that's for sure. Chubb Ripple says, I use Panasonic Eneloop batteries in mine. They don't self-discharge and can be discharged 2,000 times. Yeah, these are good. There's also Rayovac that makes some long-lasting, you know, they don't lose their charge a lot. Even Duracell and Energizer now makes those good rechargeables. These are nice. That's for sure. One thing that I have to say, Calvin, you say Haldi has some rechargeable 8 times for 2400 milliamp hour. These are at the price that you're saying now. These are so cheap. I can bet you that these aren't really good. I've rarely had good rechargeables if I bought anything else than regular good brand batteries. Very important to buy the good brand batteries. It's the only way to work. I bought at least 100 rechargeables from different unknown brands from everywhere on the web, and I've rarely had some really good performance. Oh yeah, they'll work. Most of them will work well at the beginning, but you'll see that in 6 months, after only 30, 40, 50 charges, they're already going to be dead, or they're going to start dying, or they're going to be bad. Good rechargeable batteries cost money, and you have to pay it. And don't be fooled by those that say, oh, this is 3,000 milliamp hour, this is 3,500 milliamp hour. They rarely are good once they're past about 2,400 milliamp hours. Most of the ones that are above 24 milliamp hours, they're just bad batteries, and they don't really give that much of power. So that's for sure. Val says, I was considering building battery pack for my DE1103. Take 4 or 6 18,650 milliamp hour lithium batteries, putting them in series and using 8-volt fixed linear power regulator to drive the radios. That's going to last a long time, that's for sure. That's for sure. Chuck Ripple. Can you still get the old version of the Kato 1103 or Degen 1103? I heard the new DSP version sucks. I've heard a few things about the new DSP version that apparently isn't that great. I have seen it on eBay. If you search, not every day, but if you search from time to time, I have seen it on eBay come up. So keep an eye for on eBay for in time to time. I think you can still get it. That's for sure. What else do we have here? Chuck says, Santa brought me an R390A. His sleigh broken through my roof when he landed. Of course, radio is so heavy. That's for sure. Scotty TR6 says there's a Pirate on 6935 upper sideband. Let's see here. 6935 upper sideband. Yeah, definitely a Pirate. Definitely a Pirate. And it's a great time of year to listen to pirate radio activity, by the way. Listening anywhere else. Yeah, 6935. It's not very strong here, but there's definitely a Pirate on 6935. So, okay, I'm going to check that out. Chuck says the best rechargeable batteries are made in Germany and sold on Amazon. They are Ansman rechargeable AA batteries, 2850 milliamp hour, high capacity, high rate recharge, nickel metal hydrides. Okay, I'm going to check that out. Like Vault says, I have noticed that also. The higher the capacity, the faster you lose the charge usually. That's for sure. I'm going to check that out, Chuck. Thanks for the link here. That's for sure. What else do we have? Jordan says, very, very weak for me. Got a carrier for sure on it. Okay. But, you know, rechargeable batteries, there's no going around it. You need to, you know, at least get the good stuff, because most brands that I've actually had that were cheap didn't really last long. You know what I look like? I was looking at the camera, the feed here on my computer. What's that movie with, was it Trading Places? The movie where, you know, the guy gets thrown out and they're like these rich guys do a bet and they throw out this guy from their, they want to use a guy that's, I think it was Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. And Dan Aykroyd is drunk on the sidewalk drinking his alcohol. I just had a kind of a flash of that movie while I was drinking my beer with Santa's beard. Oh, man. Hey, Rootcake, welcome to the Hangout. Nice to have you on board. That's for sure. What I've done a few times on radios that can work with 9 volts. I have a few here that use 9 volts. What I would do actually is buy a you know, RC car or a radio control car battery, the 9.6 volt ones, NEMH or you know, nickel metal hydride, and I'd use one of those and bring it along with you know, alligator clips and a plug, and I'd use sometimes those on 9 volt radios. Just have to be careful not to reverse the polarity when you do that. What else do we have here? Victor says, I have Duracell nickel metal hydride rechargeables in my Texan PL380. Still going strong after a year. Duracell rechargeables are good. They're really great batteries. Stephen Cooper, hey. Hi, Jill. Having a nice cloudy beer. No shortwave as just in the pub. Nice to have you on board. Really cool to see. Oh, that's a nice beer. I'll be having a nice beer also after this hangout is over. I'm heading to a restaurant with some friends. Gonna have some food, some wine, and probably some beers. That's why I'm just taking one little bottle like this now, because I know that a little later on it's gonna probably be a little more alcohol to my evening. So hey, Rootcake was watching Star Wars. Hope you enjoyed it. Apparently it's good, especially for those that love Love Star Wars. PLF says this is the awesome movie of Eddie Murphy trading places. Great movie. Yeah, Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. You know, well, Dan Aykroyd when he's on the street because he lost everything and he's drunk on the street wearing a Santa suit. That's for sure. Don't mix wine and beer. Yeah, well, I'll start with wine and we'll see. I don't know yet. That's for sure. Dale, are traffic jams bad in Montreal because of the Canadiens play tonight? Traffic jams are always bad in Montreal. You know, even when there's nothing happening. It's like probably one of the worst cities to come in, especially when you're outside of town. It's just incredible. But yeah, of course, when the Canadiens play, traffic jams are worse. That's all the time. True. David says, I tried my PL660 with Varta 2600 milliamp hour rechargeables and my PL600 with IKEA branded 2000 milliamp hours. I always recharge them via the charger that was packed together with the IKEA batteries. I think it does a better job than the built-in charger circuitries on the radios. So far, after 1.5 to 2 years, IKEA batteries are holding up better than the Varta. Yeah, but you know, you just notice one thing. The IKEA batteries are 2000 milliamp hours. So that's what's happening. The higher the milliamp hour rating of a battery, the less it lasts long and the faster it loses charge. I've seen that pretty much all the time. So that's for sure. Yeah, PLF, it does. You know, especially when I did that, you know, I just took the beard and did this. I immediately had an image of that movie with the drunk Santa. I use nice, Stefan. Polar Express. Oh, I'd like to have a Polar Express and try that. Can you send me a Polar Express? I want to try it. That's for sure. Stephen Cooper sending pictures of beer at the pub where it is. That's cool. Jordan says I use a Nightcore Digit Charge D2 charger, which can be used to charge my 18650 batteries for my e-cig as well, for his electronic cigarettes. You know what? I use the charger on, I'd say the charger on the PL680, by the way, is amazingly good, and it charges really well the batteries. So on this one, I just keep the batteries in and charge. That works fine. But usually what I do, I have a Panasonic charger. It's a Panasonic smart charger. That charger is amazing. It works well. It's kind of, it detects, you know, the batteries, how they are, and it just gives it the charge that really is needed. It's an amazing little charger, I can tell you that. That's for sure. And Jordan says, I've heard that on the PL660, if you recharge on it, it only charges to 1000 milliamp hour. On the PL660, I don't know. On the PL680, I have done the test, and when you put in 2000 milliamp hour batteries, it charges longer. So it means that it charges the batteries to full capacity. Usually these are very, very, very low trickle chargers. So basically, you know, a 1000 milliamp will take like 10 hours to full charge from zero, and so on. That's for sure. And that's for sure something that is something that you know, is important to know. But usually I use, like I said, the Panasonic charger for my batteries, and it works pretty well. So hey, Simon UK, going to bed now and continue to listen. Have a good week. Thank you, and send an email too. Thanks. Welcome to the Hangout. David Oh, I didn't know there was a generally improved and inverse relation there, Joe. So more capacity, faster wear. I'll take that into my considerations when I am deciding to buy new batteries. Yep. If I have the choice between 3 packs of batteries, 2000, 2400, and 2800, I'll take 2000. I'll take 2000 because I know that they're going to last longer. It's really well proven in my case with the number and the amount of batteries that I bought in my life, of rechargeable batteries, especially in the past 10 years. I can tell you, it's not just something that we think, it's something that is the case. The higher the capacity, the less it holds its charge, and the faster it wears out. I can tell you that. That's why I don't buy really high rating. Yep, volts. That's exactly it. Simple chargers, cheap chargers. They just apply a constant voltage, so it takes very, very long to get to full. But they have one advantage, though. The simple chargers that really are slow have one advantage. Even if you forget the batteries, you usually never burn them because you charge them too much. At least that's one thing. Another thing that nickel metal hydride batteries don't like is when they come too hot. One thing you should avoid is using fast chargers. You know, those chargers that say, hey, I'm going to charge it in 1 hour. If you want to burn your batteries real fast, charge them in 1 hour. And I can bet you'll get 100, maybe 100 charges, and it's already going to show that your batteries are dying. Fast chargers are horrible. They burn the batteries because the batteries come too hot, and heat is your enemy with batteries also. So, you're better off waiting and getting a charger that will charge in 5-6 hours than buying one of those really fast chargers that really, really will burn out your batteries real fast. It's going to change the chemistry of the battery because it's too hot. That's for sure. Calvin, when you got the PL680, did you need to set anything on the radio before you plugged it in to charge? Nope. It was already automatically set for nickel metal hydride batteries. But that said, you got to be careful about one thing on that radio. It does not auto-detect the batteries. So basically, if you put alkalines, don't plug the radio if you haven't changed the setting, because you'll be trying to charge alkalines. And what's going to happen is the alkalines are probably going to leak. They're not going to explode or anything because it's a really trickle charge, but they are going to leak because you tried to charge them probably. But by default, the PL680 was set, on my case, to nickel metal hydride. So it shows here in the display. If I look here, there's a battery and it says NIMH. It says nickel metal hydride batteries. It just say in the display. And basically it is set to charge. You just plug it in, and it is kind of a smart charge because depending on how much you use the radio, it gives you the amount of time that it took to charge. So if you took, say you listened to the radio 1 hour, it might say it took only 35 minutes to charge. Also, if you use it, 6 hours, you'll see it takes 2-3 hours to charge. So it adjusts because it knows. It's probably a smarter charger than most radios that I've seen that just charges for an amount of time and that's it. That's for sure. So that's for sure. PLF Jill, I want to share this website, fmscan.org, about FM, long wave, medium wave beacons, shortwave, DAB, and TV. Lots of info and deep details about transmitters and what you can hear, whatever your location you are. Yeah, I know that I haven't gone there for a while, but fmscan.org is a good website. That's true. Jordan says, cost me enough. My Duracells are 2400 milliamp hour. Charges at 500 milliamp hour. It takes about 2.5 hours to charge. my 2100 milliamp hour. Had them for a year and still running perfectly. Yeah, just don't get them too hot. Vault says really advanced chargers measure temperature of the batteries as well. Yeah, that's possible on the really expensive chargers, because I've seen chargers that are very, very expensive. That's for sure. Peace Techler, how about a beer hangout? After a couple of hours, I imagine things will be pretty brunches. Yeah, that would be something. A hangout talking about alcohol where everybody drinks. I can imagine a chat room, after 2 hours of everybody drinking. Could be interesting to see. Calvin, yeah, I have a nice on this. Yeah, I have a nice on the screen, Joe. So just wanted to be sure. Yep. And IMH. Yep. It just says. And there's a in the menus of the radio, you can change it to alkaline if you ever put alkaline. If you never charge it with alkaline, or you'll never do that error, it's okay. But it's just that if you don't change it, you put alkalines, plug it in, alkalines are gonna try to charge the alkalines, and it basically the batteries are gonna leak. That's for sure. Hello, my friend, guest from Guatemala. Nice to have you on board. Nice to have you on board. Nice to see you. Really cool. David says, I usually charge my batteries overnight. My charger is very slow, so letting it do its job during the night ensures availability of fresh batteries the next day. Although I also have 2 battery sets per radio. This way, while I'm using one, I have another set ready to be popped in when the first one is discharged. I often do that, of course. That's pretty much what I do. I have some on the charge while I have the others that I'm using, so I can always, have a rotation of batteries. I do that a lot with the rechargeables. I'm due to buy new rechargeables now, because the batteries that I have, the rechargeables I have, are at least 5 or 6 years old now, and a lot of them start to show that they're really getting old, and they don't keep their charges as much. Yeah, Chuck, Tom Styles suggests removing batteries from radios when not in use, especially alkalines can corrode, leak, and ruin the radio. Well, you know what? If you use them often, not necessarily, but if you store away your radio, and not just a radio, if you store away something, it's better to take them off. But that said, I can tell you one thing. Today's Duracell batteries are amazing for that, because they are the way they designed them, they don't really leak like batteries did before. But cheap batteries leak. And the reason why batteries leak, by the way, is that the canister of the battery is actually used as one of the electrodes of the battery. So as you're using the battery, the canister itself actually becomes thinner because of the electrons moving around. And also the chemical reaction in the battery might actually put a little more pressure in the battery. So thinner canister will mean that with the pressure, a seal somewhere will probably break and the battery is going to leak. And that is something you don't want to have in your radios, because it is very bad in corrosion. That's a fact. I've had many batteries leak here on some devices I have. What I would say is, if you use alkaline batteries and you use them every day or several times a week, you can keep them in the radio. But if you see that batteries are, really getting weaker, and you see the battery indicators starting to show that batteries are really weaker, don't wait till the batteries are fully drained. Change them before that to make sure that they don't leak. And also, if you use them several times a week, shouldn't be that much of a problem. But if you store a radio or you store any electronic devices that use batteries away with alkaline batteries, remove the batteries. If you don't use a radio for many weeks, don't leave batteries in them. Except rechargeables. Rechargeables, it doesn't matter. Rechargeable batteries, they'll just, run out. That's it. And you'll have to charge them when you need it. That's it. So rechargeables, it doesn't matter. But alkalines, if you don't use a device for a long time, yeah, remove. That's for sure, remove. Yeah, Chuck, I'm going to try your batteries. I kept the link here so I can actually check it out. And that's pretty much it. What else do we have here? What do you do when the batteries leak in your radio? What is the best way to clean the green stuff? Vault says pure alcohol plus brush, if it's not too bad. That's one thing you can do. What I usually do when something like that happens is I'll use sandpaper. I'll clean it up as much as I can, first of all. Alcohol, like Vault suggests, is something that you can try. But you can try to brush it off. Be careful because it's very corrosive and you don't want to have contact with your hands. And often what I'll do is I'll use sandpaper on the metal parts, like the spring or the metal parts where the battery contacts. And there I'll use the sandpaper to remove all the corrosion that happened there. Where it could be very tricky, and that's a big problem. If the leakage remained in the battery compartment, it's not too bad, and you'll be able to fix that. If the leakage actually went into the circuits, now you've got a serious problem, because the corrosion of that that liquid, that goo that comes out of the battery, is actually going to really, really damage the circuit board. So it's not impossible that if the circuit board had some of that on it, that it might actually not work anymore. But that's for sure. That's for sure. The best way is, slowly clean the contacts. Usually it's limited to the contacts of the battery compartment. And wear gloves. Don't touch anything with your hands, because it is very, very corrosive, that's for sure. Chuck says, I pulled 10 sets of batteries out of my ultralight radios last weekend. I just forgot they were in the radios. So what I do now is pull the batteries unless I know I'm going to use the radio again the same day or next week. Yeah, that's the fair thing to do. If you know you're going to use the radio regularly every 2-3 days, it doesn't matter that much. But any radios you store away, because you're thinking, like I got tons of radios here. So that's why I buy a lot of rechargeables. Like that, I don't have to go crazy. I just leave the radio there with the rechargeables. I come to pick it up, and I see that the clock's dead, so it means that the batteries are dead on some. The other ones, well, the clock's still there, so the batteries are still there, but they might not last as long because, the rechargeables have been in the radio for 6 months. But at least rechargeables don't leak. So you won't have any problem with that. The rechargeables will not leak in your radio. I've never seen rechargeables leak. That would surprise me. They would have to be real cheap rechargeables to leak, I can tell you that. That's for sure. What else do we have here? Going through the list of questions. Let me just check the email, because I don't want to forget anyone. That's for sure. And a few people that have subscribed to my official VHF UHF channel. Okay, for that, on the questions and answer tab, Normand Beaumont, hello. VE2AKV around Montreal. Good job. Thanks for being here. Nice to have you on board. And and really cool to have you watching the Hangout. About from that, what else do we have? Ray Kelly says the Texan batteries that came with the PL680 do a decent job. Yeah, I'm surprised, especially because they're only 1,000. They're rated at 1,000 milliamp hour. So I was like, okay, they don't last long. Actually, they do. They're amazing. I do a full day, and it's fun because I get home from a de-expedition. I just plug the radio so that they charge, and I know that later in the evening or the next day, I have the radio that I can actually still continue using. So it's pretty cool for that. Nice to have you. Kimberly George. Hey, Kimberly. K6YYL in Southern California. Hope you had a great Christmas. Yep, it was really, really cool. Nice to have you on board, Kimberly. Always cool to see that you join us. And yeah, it's been really, really, really something, nice to have you, and nice to, my Christmas was cool. And, family and friends, that's pretty much what I want. That's for sure. Chuck. What else do we have? Chuck says, have you thought of maybe coming to the Winter Shortwave Festival this year, which will be just outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? It's going to be February 19th and 20th. I have to check that out. That could be something, because I believe that time period there could be some vacation possibility. I'd like that. I really, really, really like that. And it's something I have to think about. So I'll keep you guys posted. It could be fun. And you know what? If I go, that's one thing for sure. I'm going to do a Hangout live from there. I want to do one, that's for sure, so that you guys see it. Peace Steckler, will you sing Santa Baby at karaoke tonight? Well, last year, when I went to the karaoke at Christmas, I looked up the Christmas songs, and funny thing, well, there's I won't say the name because I can't say it on the YouTube video, and especially because there could be kids. The funny story is I looked at Jingle Bell Rock, and I said, hey, I'm gonna sing Jingle Bell Rock. But at the same time, I noticed there was a X-rated version of Jingle Bell Rock. So let's say a very sexy version, or more like a very dirty version. So I just went to the microphone and I said, okay, I've got two choices here. I can sing the Jingle Bells Rock version or the dirty version. So who wants to hear the dirty version? Of course, everybody raised their hands, so I had to sing the dirty version. So that's pretty much the little story about last year. Calvin, what else do we have here? Oh, Chuck, yeah, that would be cool though. If some of you really like shortwave, the Winter Shortwave Festival near Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is really a great gathering of shortwave people. It's really, really cool. So it's nice, to it's a nice place to go. And if anyone wants to go there, I think it's the place to go. If you can go, and there's exhibits of all sorts, lots of stations there. There's a lot of people there, all sorts of radio stuff. There's, of course, the kind of flea market. It's a really, really cool place, and I have to check it out. I think it would be fun to do a hangout from there. If I go, that's for sure. I'll do a hangout. I'll find a way to do a hangout from there. I'll bring everything that I want, that I need for that. Roger MCAJ6YV says use vinegar if on contacts. Yep, vinegar on contacts for batteries that leak. That's also a good idea. Kelvin got a QSL from China Radio International Christmas Eve with a print off of schedule times and red paper cutout that they send all the time. The red paper cutouts, for those that don't know, they're always related to the Chinese horoscope. So every year the paper cutout is always the same type of animal from the Chinese New Year, or the Chinese horoscope, sorry. So these are nice, by the way. And he's going to email me pictures. Cool. Yeah, send me that. I want to see that. That's for sure. Welcome back, Sunburn 90. Hello, Radio Geek. Nice to have you on board. Chuck says, nothing wrong at all with the Texan batteries. Texan radios, for the most part, are incredible value. When I started shortwave listening, DXing at a 70, we could only wish for a radio with digital readout. Multiple bandwidths, no drifting. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. And basically, same, even in the 80s, having a digital readout radio was so expensive. I mean, you couldn't have a digital readout receiver below 300, that's for sure. It was like 300 to 400. And they weren't most of them weren't even as good as a Texan PL 680 is today. That typically costs, not much more than $100. Just amazing. It's just amazing what we have today. So, David, a radio that has left me impressed battery consumption-wise is the Sony ICF Shortwave 11. Back when I bought it, it was the only shortwave receiver I had, so I used it heavily. Despite this, a standard set of Duracell's AA lasted almost 6 months on this radio till it started distorting the audio due to the low battery. Pretty cool. Yeah, that is cool. That's for sure. That's for sure. That's very, very low. Oh, P. Steckler, if you want to go to a karaoke bar in Montreal, Bar Zoe, check that out. This is where I'm going tonight. And that's where I go all the time, just leaving the link here on the chat room. Actually, they have live cams. If anybody is watching the live feed tonight, you might see Santa sing. And that will probably be me, because I'm thinking of going as a Santa. I don't know what you guys think, but I thought, why not go to the bar as Santa tonight? And that's the best place in Montreal, that's for sure. It's actually extremely near where I live. And it's a friend of mine. It's a friend of mine that owns that bar. And by the way, the camera starts at 0100 UT, 8 p.m. local. So starting about 01:30 UT, camera will start, and it goes on up to 3 a.m., which is 8 hours, 0800 hours UTC. That's for sure. And HRI radio, I don't agree. There is good karaoke. That bar, actually, where I go, is there's a lot of singers that became professional that were discovered there. So surprising. It's one of the best places for that. Sometimes people are actually shy of singing because they hear the other people singing. They say, well, you guys sing too well. I'm shy now. I don't want to sing because I don't sing good. And I always tell them, well, it's a karaoke bar. Don't go crazy. You don't have to be a professional singer in a karaoke bar. That's for sure. Let's see any other information here. It's fun to do this little, very down-to-earth hangout, talking about pretty much anything and everything. Well, you know what, Jordan? He says a new Pat for Joel. You know what? I've had a lot of people tell me that if that I should go to these contests, like America's Got Talent, stuff like that, because I sing so well. No, Celine Dion was not discovered there. Thank God. That would have been so horrible. I'll have to have a karaoke hangout next. Yeah, that would be that would be good. Yeah, Dale, I am actually just question. Have you thought of expanding your channel to other streaming sites like dailymotion.com? In 2016, there's going to be stuff that's going to change. I'm actually even thinking for you guys that have iPhones and tablets and stuff, there will be a video version. I'm going to start by a video version of my Windows questions and answer that I have every week. That's going to be available on iTunes. And I'm thinking maybe some kind of iTunes stuff for the shortwave stuff. You know, people like to go through podcasts and see what they are. Maybe we're going to have more people discover the fun world of radio and shortwave radio. So do one song at the end of Hangout. We'll see. Okay. What else do we have here? It's better with the music, you know, and I have to put the music to have it, and that's going to be kind of complicated. So, but I promise I'll have eventually a song and a Hangout. Okay. Where's DX tonight? DX was here for the past 2 days. They actually spent Christmas Eve with us, and all of my guests found DX to be just so cute, and it was really, really fun. And DX was here until about 2 or 3 p.m. Asked for the door, so I let him out. And I guess the neighbor probably saw DX because from what I've seen is DX is gone. So I guess she kidnapped DX now. And so I don't know when I'm going to see DX again in the next few days. So Dale, no, I'm not driving. You know, that restaurant bar is 10 minutes walking distance from my home. That's the best thing you can do. You walk to the restaurant, you drink like you want, and you come back home walking 10 minutes. And that's probably as good as it gets. So that's the cool thing about it. And, you know, Montreal has a pretty good subway and bus system. So why take a car? Vault says not going to use iTunes out of religious beliefs. Yeah, I understand what you mean. I understand, but it's not going to be available just there. I want to put a lot of stuff available at different spots. I've even thought of maybe having some kind of website just for the fun of it, first of all. And I you know, put the videos, different videos in different sections and stuff. You know, 2016, I'm starting off 2016 with 4 shows, but I can tell you one thing. By the end of 2016, I wouldn't be surprised I'll be at 6 or 7 shows. I'm really, really building something that I want to have fun with, and I think it's going to be cool. K5BGL says, I miss being able to walk to and from the pub when I lived in England. That is fun. You just go and you drink and you don't care. You just come back home walking. Absolutely walk if you are so inclined to do so. Oh, yeah. You know, why take your car when you're drunk? It's not that's a bad idea. And there's bad consequences here. The laws are really, really become very strict, by the way, here on that. So any other little detail here? Checking out the email. See if somebody has emailed or said a little hello. Nothing special here. So we're going to slowly wrap up because I'll slowly have to go and head out to the restaurant. Chuck, ever thought of doing an interview during the Hangout? I can think of a number of prospective guests. Yep. And that's going to be interesting to do. I will, of course, I'm going to set up something because for my Windows Hangouts, what I'm having is I'm going to have Skype calls, which will also open the way for me to do Skype calls also with my shortwave Hangouts. And I was thinking of trying to get guests here via video. So, you know, like having a screen here, and we'll have like that person real here. right next to me. And so you guys see me, see the guest, and we have, interviews and conversations. Even have maybe some of you that want to be, live, and arrange something so we can call via Skype and have that. That would be really, really nice. So I'll be checking that out for sure. And yep, would be cool. And actually, I have some people that I've want to contact. I'm not sure if all of them are going to say yes, but try to get somebody online. That's for sure. That would be fun. That really, really would be fun. What else do we have here? Sunbird, Shell, are you having a New Year's Day hangout? Nope. By the way, next Friday should have been usually a shortwave tuning the bands hangout, and I will not have that this Friday because what's going to happen is on the New Year's Eve, I'm going to my brother's, and usually at my brother's it ends at least. Last year the sun was rising when I came back home, so it could be the same this year. And so I will be tired and I will want to take a break on New Year's Day, that's for sure. So there's not going to be anything this Friday. We're going to come back with Hangouts on January 8th. It's going to be the first one after 2016. So January 8th will be the Friday, the first Tuning the Band Hangout from 2016. So Friday, January 8th. Saturday, January 9th, we'll have a shortwave hangout because that's going to be in 2 weeks. So we'll have a Saturday hangout at 21 UT where we'll talk about SDR. We'll talk about software-defined radio on January 9th. And it's going to be the start of the new season. And every Friday is going to be something, as I told you. On January 8th, tuning the band. January 9th, Saturday, will be the regular hangout like this that I talk about. And on January 15th will be the first VHF UHF hangout. So that's going to be real cool. I think it's going to be really fun. So Calvin says, I'm off. Another enjoyable hangout. Happy Christmas and have a good night as well, Jill. Take care. No, I won't drink too much. I already did a lot, so it's going to be really a relaxed night, more than anything else. So, hey guys, I'm going to leave here because I have to, get everything ready, head down to the restaurant, have some nice food. It was nice to have you on board. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. The most wonderful of New Year's 2016 that I can think of for everyone. The first thing, health. That's the most important thing. Everybody needs to be, have good health. Client of mine, I'll always remember one of my first clients when I was a tech guy. We were talking, and I was telling him, well, I don't have a lot of clients. It's slow. And while I was building everything, and he looked at me and said, "You got good health?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "If you got good health, you can do anything you want. So don't worry." So good health to everyone. Whatever fantastic thing you wish for 2016. If you do a New Year's resolution, I have one. I'm trying to lose 35 pounds. So that's going to start around January 5th after everything's done and when, I've gone to all the parties. Take care, everyone. Happy New Year and have fun. It's always cool to do these hangouts. So see you guys.